Another state line, another page.
We're driving with this guy. It's a long story.
I'm in this van with this girl. It's a long story.
Singing that town's Van Zandt, passing another round. Watching the
With all this stuff going on, everyone's maybe examining their lives a little bit.
Take it from one American to another.
weight of my worried mind. Melody lifts away.
All the stories I heard about folk music, kind of haven't experienced it.
Well, we should bring it back.
Bring what back?
Bring back the folk. Tell Mom that I love her, please. Bring back the folk!
안녕하세요. I hope that everyone watching this is safe and healthy, and that all your family and your friends and everyone you know is safe and healthy as well. It's a strange and stressful time in the history of our world, but we will get through it. And maybe art and music and film can help us through. I mean, I still believe in the power of film to do that, to unite people and to lift people up. I hope our film does that for you, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be part of the festival once again. Making these films available online to the audience, I think, is a very smart thing to do. And we were honored to be a part of the festival a couple years ago, and we're even more excited today. So thank you to everyone at the festival and to everyone watching. 감사합니다. Our movie, American Folk, it's largely about people coming together in the wake of tragedy and in their time of need. And I chose to kind of do this using American folk music, which has it's really a rich tradition of doing just that in our country, of bringing people together. You know, long before the invention of the phonograph, these songs were, handed down from generations to generations around the campfire. Younger people would take a song and add a verse to it, change it in some way that spoke to them or their generation, and songs evolved in that way and just brought people together over these shared love of old songs. And that's what happens to the characters in our movie. We set all of that against the backdrop of one of the great tragedies in American history, which was the September 11th attacks in 2001 in this country, a very difficult time in my country's history, but one in which we largely sort of came together in the wake of, and maybe an idea that the world needs, certainly my country needs, a little bit of a reminder of in this moment. So a couple things about the movie you may not know that you might find interesting. The first is that this, for the most part, was all of our first movie. This was the first movie I wrote and directed. This is most all of the cast in the film are non-actors. They've never acted before this movie. Most of them haven't acted since. And it was, really kind of a group of friends and family that got together to make this movie. If you look at the names of the executive producers on the film, you'll see my brother, my best friend Steve Cho, who was born in Korea, as a matter of fact. My brother-in-law's father. I mean, this was very much a group effort by a small, closely knit group of people. One thing to note about the film is that it's a road trip movie. It takes place over the entirety of America. The characters drive from the state of California to New York City. Well, we took that trip. That's not common in most road movies, but we actually took the trip ourselves in the van you see in the movie. It's a very old, rusty, I think it was 1971 Chevy van, and that van broke down so many times. It looked great on camera, but it was a nightmare to film with. So a couple things to keep an eye out for. One, you'll see a shot pretty early in the movie when Elliot is he's driving and he's looking out the driver's side window and he's looking at an American flag it's kind of a slow motion shot and he's watching it in the wind. Well, right after we filmed that shot, the van caught fire. We were driving and smoke started billowing through the cabin of the van. We had to pull over. The actors jumped out. The camera crew, thankfully, everyone was fine. The camera crew got all the equipment out. I jumped out, and we were able to move on. One other thing is that a lot of the people you see along the way, particularly the people helping us fix the van, most of that was not scripted. So one particular thing to keep an eye out for is about halfway through the movie, maybe there's a scene where the van is broken down and Joni and Elliot are helped by this really nice gentleman with a mustache and a big smile. His name was Sam. He was not part of the script. He lived on one of the streets we broke down on, happened to be a mechanic, came out, helped us fix the van, and on we went, you know. So it's funny, but it's also the story of the movie. You know, people coming together, helping one another out in their time of need. And maybe you're in a time of need right now, and maybe this movie can help you out. Either way, I thank you for watching, and I thank, again, everyone at the festival. We are so honored and grateful to be a part of it once again. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Thank you all. 감사합니다.